Air-fuel ratio adjustment using an O2 sensor. Have you ever wondered how to get the best performance from your motorcycle? One key factor is the air-fuel ratio adjustment, and using an oxygen sensor can make a big difference. Let's break it down so you can keep your ride running smoothly. First, what is the air-fuel ratio? This is the balance of air and fuel in the combustion process. For most engines, the ideal ratio is around 14.7 parts air to 1 part fuel. This is known as the stoichiometric ratio. However, at idle or low speeds, a slightly richer mixture, meaning less air and more fuel, is often better for smoother operation. Now let's talk about oxygen sensors. There are two main types you might encounter. Narrowband oxygen sensors can tell you if the mixture is rich, lean, or just right, but they are limited in their precision. On the other hand, wideband oxygen sensors provide detailed measurements across a broader range, making them perfect for fine-tuning performance. To use an oxygen sensor effectively, you will need to install it in your motorcycle's exhaust system. This usually involves welding bungs into the exhaust headers. If you have a 4-cylinder motorcycle, you will need 4 bungs, 1 for each cylinder. Next, gather the necessary equipment. You will need a wideband oxygen sensor, an air-fuel ratio gauge that includes the sensor, and a power source for the gauge and sensor, typically connected to the motorcycle's battery. When you are ready to tune, start by warming up your motorcycle. Let it idle for about 10 minutes to reach the right operating temperature. Use the air-fuel ratio gauge to monitor the readings. Adjust the carburetor settings, like the pilot screws, to achieve your desired air-fuel ratio. For motorcycles, a slightly rich mixture, around 13.5 to 14.7, is often preferred at idle and low speeds. As you make adjustments, pay attention to how the engine sounds. A smoother sound usually means you are on the right track. For tuning at idle, aim for a ratio that is a bit richer than stoichiometric for better performance. When cruising, try to get closer to the ideal ratio for improved fuel efficiency. Lastly, ensure that the oxygen sensor is heated and properly calibrated. This is especially important in colder weather to get accurate readings. By using an oxygen sensor, you can fine-tune your motorcycle's carburetor for better performance, efficiency, and reliability. This simple adjustment can make a world of difference in how your motorcycle runs.